G'day, I'm Mrs. Dow, and welcome to Mrs. Dow's Art Room. Here's today's lesson. Hi, I'm going to teach you a couple of coloured pencil techniques today for colouring in. Coloured pencils can be really great if you use them the right way, and they're really fun to experiment with. So I'm going to start off with the pressure. You can do some practicing and some warming up with your pencils when you're trying to get the pressure right. So if we start off over this side, we can start off colouring heavy and gradually lift the pressure up, not press quite as hard, and see if we can make the colour get lighter and lighter and lighter. This creates a gradient effect. Another way to make this smoother, if you want to make your colouring look a little bit more blended, is you can actually use an eraser and rub it back. I'm just going to do half of it. Rub it back a little bit, and that will blend your colour together a bit more. This one goes from heavy to light pressure. You can go the opposite way as well. Another way to use this is to actually layer two colours together. So I can start with one colour, getting heavy pressure down to light pressure. Then I can use another colour and go from heavy to light the other way. It's a really good idea to play with different pressures with different colours, especially when you're creating something that has a few different colours in it, or something that needs some shadows and some highlights. It's a really nice way to blend colours, and you'll notice using two primary colours we end up getting a green in the middle, which gives us a secondary colour. I'm going to use the eraser again just to blend out the bottom half so you can see the difference. So just lightly rubbing that one back. And you can see a difference in the blending on one side to the other. Mixes the colours together a bit more. The next one is hatching. If you're colouring an area, say you have a shape you want to colour in, you can use this technique to colour in a specific shape. So hatching is literally just colouring with lines. Oops. So I'm starting at the top, working my way down, and then I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up so that they meet in the middle. That way I don't go out of the lines too many times. The next option is cross hatching. So while we've used lines one way, we can use lines another way to add more depth to our colour and blend it in even more so that we can't see our pencil strokes. Okay, so cross hatching again, we're going one direction and then in another. And that blends it really nicely. Okay, one other option that you can do is to blend your colour with a black, grey or white pencil, and that gives you smoother or darker shading. So I'm going to do 3 different gradients, and then I'm going to add a white, a grey and a black so you can see the difference. So if we go dark to light over here, then in the top section, very hard with my white, just over here, back it off a bit as I'm getting towards the end. So you can see a little bit of a blending difference at the top there. Then I'll use my grey pencil. If you don't have a grey pencil, you can use a grey lead. Actually, I'll use my grey lead so you can see the difference. It just will have a bit more of a silvery finish. Again, I'm starting off dark and then getting lighter as I move across. Then I'll use my black. Probably need a little bit more blue here, so I'm going to extend this down a little bit. Use my black and you should see a much darker shadow. Like so. So you can see how the different colours blend in and make our picture darker and lighter. Now there are a couple of other techniques that you can use when you're colouring in, and the shading option, if I show you in a shape, so we can use a shading and put our gradient in by going darker on the edges and lighter in the center. Go back and add some more pressure around the edges and just blend it in, so really dark towards the edges and then a bit lighter as I move my way in. You see they kind of pop out off the page a little bit. Okay, and then the next one, I can actually do an outline, so a really hard pressure line. It's kind of even the whole way around. Then in the middle, I can either do this radial design again, or I can use some hatching or cross hatching. So for this time, I'm going to go with cross hatching. I'm not using a lot of pressure, just trying to keep it light so that I can see the difference between my outline and my colouring. Just another way to colour in. The last one is a little bit different. Sometimes I like to use this when I want to add a lot of texture, and it's kind of a circular colouring technique. So literally just colouring in little swirls or little circles that overlap each other. Do this really slowly and not too hard, so that I fill up as much of the page as possible. You can't really tell which direction my pencil's been going in when I colour like this. So those are a few of my colouring techniques that I like to use when I'm colouring. Then the other ways that makes a difference is how you hold your pencil. So if you use a regular pincer grip, then it's going to make your pencil stand up quite far and you'll get a sharp point in your pencil, depending on how sharp it is. If you lay your pencil down and hold your fingers over the top, you can use one to control, then you can get a much more gentle line depending on how sharp your pencil is. So if I get my pencil ready from brand new sharpening, you see the difference between standing upright and laying down. So then if you wanted to cover a big area without a lot of pressure, you can colour a very large area. you'll just notice pressure is different and the lines can be a little bit messier. Whereas if you want a really hard colour, you hold your pencil upright. And I'm not putting much pressure on this right now, but I can move it kind of quickly and colour using a darker colour because I have more control of the pressure. Hopefully you've had a bit of fun with that. See how you go and what techniques you like, and then when you're ready you can do some colouring.